The QRP LABS QDX Digital Transceiver Build Kit. That's what's coming up next on LCARA Ham Radio. Hello, folks. This is Chris, KY4CKP, and this week with LCARA Ham Radio, we have recently been working on a build project, a kit build project from QRP Labs, their QDX digital transceiver. This is a digital mode transceiver that you can build, and they provide, for an additional cost, either an extruded aluminum case for it, or I did see that there was a 3D print available on Thingiverse if you would like to print your own case for this. But for our club's hands-on events, which we do once a month, where we try to get hands-on with learning some skills and practicing those skills, soldering and other things, we recently decided, hey, let's try to build this QRP Labs kit. And of course, then you end up with a nice little digital mode transceiver at the end of that you can use to play around with digital mode contacts. So the kit, as you saw, is around $60. The extruded aluminum case is about another $20. Of course, if you have the ability to 3D print your own, again, Thingiverse has at least one version of that. Now, as we look at this, this is not really an entry-level kit to sort of cut your your kit building chops on, if you will. If you've built maybe at least one or a few kits already, and there are some pretty simple kits you can sort of start with, this would be one that's in the probably at least more intermediate category. It is a pretty cool build, and you end up with an actual radio at the end of it. With all kit builds, staying organized is a big deal. It's really going to help cut down frustrations, and doing a parts count at the beginning is also a really good habit to get into, making sure you actually did receive all the parts you're supposed to have, so that nothing was missing. And usually an organization, I'm sure, would provide any missing parts if you found that. So make sure you've checked your parts against the parts list, you're organized, and then take your time. So with a kit build like this one, you're probably going to want to spend a good 4 to 6 hours on this total. And that may not be in one sitting. You may want to split that across maybe a couple of days, a weekend, so that you don't get too kind of burnt out. Some of the work is a little bit tedious. For example, there are 10 toroids you have to wind in this kit, and a couple of them are kind of special. And you just have to be careful with those and really make sure you've counted the windings and things correctly. For one of those, it'll actually help you set up this kit to where it can run on either a 9-volt power source or a 12-volt power source, whatever you would prefer. So we're just showing some of the images and things that we took from our hands-on events. This was more than one event. Again, we've had several of these so far on this project. And some of our club members actually went ahead and built the kit on their own time and got it done, like I say, over the course of a pretty good day or maybe a couple of days. So we talk about our hands-on, we talk about our club activities here in LCARA, and we like to try to inspire other hams, other clubs. Try to do things as a club. Get out there in the field and do things. Of course, winter field days coming up very soon. Summer field day, POTA events. Have a picnic. We have a fish fry in the summer. Try to do things as a club, and also things like this. It's nice when we can go a little bit out of our way to actually share some of the knowledge and skills of building antennas, building kits sort of like this, and those kinds of things. Help people learn how to solder. Help them learn how to do some of these things. Maybe have a day where you can help people learn and understand how to use their handy talkie or their mobile radio unit or their base station unit. How do you do HF radio and things? Pass on these skills. Try to get out there in the public, like we like to do and try to do, and try to get with younger kids. Try to get kids involved with some of these things, whether it's at schools or whether it could be with Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and just whatever other organizations that you can find. So yeah, we're just showing some of the again the images in the video clips here. Folks working on the kits at a couple three different of our hands-on events, and again, a few of our club members are pretty handy with this stuff, and some of them knocked out the kit pretty quickly over a weekend, and then we're sort of able to help other folks working with it at the same time. So we just wanted to show this. Now, again, this is probably more in the intermediate category as far as kit builds go. It's not terribly complicated, but sort of the toroid windings and the fact that there's 10 of them and some stuff. So if you're going to do this kit, take your time. There are some really good videos on YouTube that really get into the full build of the kit. Josh with HAMRadio Crash Course and the Temporarily Offline, his channel, he did a really good build, has some really good tips as far as building this exact kit. And there's a couple of others as far as really showing like all the steps of pretty much building the kits. So you can definitely check those out, but be prepared to invest some time to watch the videos, because again, these kits do take a little time to build through. But again, if you're willing to maybe spread it out over 2 or 3 days, shouldn't be all that difficult. So we're just showing a few things here. Again, you certainly get to solder, you get to learn how to wind those toroids. Again, a couple of them are kind of special. That's why this is more of an intermediate kit as opposed to a true maybe starter kit. But there are good starter kits out there, and it's not super terribly expensive, considering you can end up with an actual radio at the end of this, even though it's for digital modes. So we just wanted to share this with folks. And again, we'd always highly encourage, whether you're an individual ham or whether you work with a club, to enjoy the hobby. And using pre-built radios, commercial radios, is great. It's great when you can buy a nice piece of kit, but there's all these buildable kits that you can look into, and building antennas and things that, at least for some of us, that's a really fun part of the hobby as well. That's one of the things with ham radio. You can be as sort of hands-on and building and fabricating things as you would like to be. And then you can just stick to buying components off the shelf if you're more into that as well. So you could really get almost anything you want to out of ham radio. The digital modes, computer-aided aspects of ham radio, like this little build right here, which is a digital mode transceiver. So we've got a section coming up here where one of our members built his kit and introduces a little bit about it, and then shows actually using his radio just a little bit. We're going to end up on those video segments here in just a moment, but we just wanted to show this off. We had a lot of fun. A lot of our members had a lot of fun getting hands-on and building these kits and ending up with a functional radio at the end of it. That's kind of the nice thing with an antenna build or a lot of these kit builds, is you end up with a functional piece of gear at the end of it. Whether it could be something fairly simple like building, again, antennas are simple forms of antennas you can build, or a dummy load. Dummy loads are a pretty good, relatively simple style of sort of kit that you could start with. So we're going to kind of start wrapping things up here with some video provided by our member Mike, and he did a nice job with his radio, and it worked well for him. So we're going to end up with that, and then we'll bring you folks right back. Okay, here's a brief little clip from our member Mike, KD6FTR, and some video of him testing his unit that turned out really nice.
So after you've done all your final checks with a QDX, you're going to want to power it up. Make sure you have either an antenna or a dummy load, and your USB cable connected to your computer, and plug in the power. You'll see this rapid blinking. This is it's going through its diagnostics and boot, and now it's up.
This is Chris, KY4CKP for Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association. Thanks for joining us on this little build kit from QRP Labs, the QDX digital mode transceiver, and we will see you folks in the next video. 73.